Hello there. The Bailey Review in 2011 made fantastic progress with letting children be children, but I'm still finding that I'm frustrated when I'm buying clothes for my nephew and for my daughter. And if I want to buy dinosaur or science t-shirts, I have to go to the boys section. If I want to buy brightly coloured or Frozen t-shirts, I have to go to the girls section. So I guess my question is, are you concerned that retailers overly stereotype children? What impact do you think this has on children, and what would you do about it?
Yvette?
Yeah, I think this is, it's part of a wider kind of cultural change and cultural challenge here that it's, you kind of worry as well that it goes backwards across the generations rather than being able to go forwards, rather than having a wider range of opportunities. I always assumed I had far more opportunities than my mum, who had more opportunities than my grandma, and you sort of think that somehow with each generation that things will change. And yet you look then, my daughters, and actually worry about whether some of their horizons have been narrowed. I think some of this is about all of us challenging, because it's not necessarily about what government can do, it's about what all of us can do to challenge. I do think there are some of the issues which are around a kind of sexualization and attitudes towards sort of sexual relationships and violence in relationships and those sorts of things, where actually I do think there is a role for government. It's not just about, the kind of arguments with retailers or pressure on retailers and things like that. There is actually a role for government. That's why, for example, I think we need compulsory sex and relationship education in schools, for example. I think we should be teaching zero tolerance of violence in relationships, teaching about respect and equality as part of that, and making sure that every school does it. And that kind of, I think, underpins just a wider thing of just continually challenging attitudes towards our young people and our teenagers, so that whatever their background, whatever their circumstances, whatever their gender, they can get on and can do things, and making sure that that's not something that's sort of dismissed. There was a period in which a lot of people didn't want to describe themselves as feminist. And I just think everybody should be prepared to use the F word and should be able to say, boys should be feminists too. And we should, the biggest attack I ever got on social media was this sort of vitriolic attack when I said we should be teaching our boys to be feminists, and that's the way we should have equality. But the hostility to that. But that is actually what it's about, whether it's about the toys kids play with, whether it's about the opportunities they have in school or whatever. It's about making sure that our boys and our girls and the next generation are feminists.